What is interesting, Flex, is that with this Carlos Baleba stuff, obviously you did the video yesterday from about the Indicalia report that came out and said that after that board meeting, a bid was imminent. And I explained this on the Football Flex last night when I did the watch long for the Super Cup. When we were doing that video and we were getting it up onto the channel, we were a bit weary, weren't we? Going, by the time we get this uploaded, someone would have come out and said that it's bullshit. You know, someone will come out and say, yeah, it's not true. You know, yes, he got the first thing right. You know, David Ornstein shouted him out, and I saw David Ornstein put out the he was on a podcast, a Football Agents podcast, and he was asked about referencing Indicalia, and he said, look, I don't really know the law surrounding. I think so. Yeah, he goes, I didn't really know the law surrounding the account or anything like that, and I don't really, participate in it. But I checked it out, and it was legitimate. So it's the right thing to do, is to say they were right, they were first. So
he's co-signed it again.
Yeah. So to your point yesterday, you can't, until someone says otherwise, you can't poo-poo that report, because they got it right before. So their source on that, maybe not other stuff, but certainly on that story, would appear to be legitimate. And what was fascinating with what happened yesterday, like I said, we were thinking, by the time we put it up, someone would have gone, that's not true, we've not heard that, blah, blah, blah. But no one said anything. No one shot it down. No one co-signed it.
But they haven't. But also,
nobody said no. But no one said no. That's not what we've heard. We just heard nothing. We heard absolutely zero.
To co-sign it, you have to, for someone like Romano or Ben Jacobs or David Ornstein, whoever the journo is going to stick their head above the parapet and say they've heard different. You have to have heard different or the same. You have to have had your connect that you trust go, that thing that's over there, I'm telling you, yeah, that's true, that. Or just separate to that information, yeah, Man United will be bidding soon. Just got it through from, because that's how it goes. You trust your source. You know what I mean? Say Owen's my source, but James at the Muppeteers has a different source. James goes with it early. I don't just jump until Owen comes to me, who's my guy in the club or in the know, and says, yeah, Fleck, I've been doing a bit of digging. Listen, Man United are going to be making a bid. And then I go, it's confirmed, Man United. Do you know what I mean?
That's really interesting as well, Flex. I don't know if you saw this, but Coy mentions it in the chat. And this is true. So Leone got a here we go to Liverpool yesterday from Romano. And Indicalia said, oh, it's a done deal 10 minutes before or something, that Romano went with a here we go. Yeah. Everyone once again went. Everyone went, that was.
But they're not right. Giving Indicalia the props for that, because Romano is the biggest thing.
Yeah. But like it was like 10 minutes before. So it was like everyone went, well, and once again, it's one of those ones of like, well, I think most people knew he was going to end up going to Liverpool anyway. How difficult is it? But the timing, that is interesting. The timing of that is interesting. So I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, until someone says otherwise, until someone says that's not true, or he's full of shit, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm just staying with my energy of keeping consistent with what I said I'd do, and I said as soon as that Indicalia thing happened, and Ornstein, co-signed it, and then has gone on to co-sign it again. I just said, I'm just going to listen. I'm going to listen or take note when they speak. Doesn't mean, look, with anything, it doesn't mean, like I said in the video yesterday, it doesn't mean it's 100% going to happen. It doesn't even mean 100% we're imminently going to bid. It's just what they said. They said that, and they were the first ones to even get it right, that we even wanted to get Baleba, which is definitely a fact. So until it's shat on and they, have a painstaking death of like, right, they've been exposed. Right. Okay. That was good while it lasted. I'll be there for that. If that happens, that happens. And I'll go, right, well, they had a good run. But until that happens, I'm just going to take it as they're reliable. Like Indicalia is a group of journalists. It's not tier one person, says Araya. Fair enough. We have to understand a little bit more about them, because again, I don't know too much about them. I'd never even heard of them, of the parody thing before. I'd never heard of this account.
Well, what is interesting now is, because they've got that co-sign from David Ornstein, they are really trying it with the David Ornstein stuff. Like they respond to like everything he says. So again, that kind of makes you go, oh. So, like you said, it could be a thing where it is legitimate, and there's like conspiracy theories of like some people have taken over the account and bought it because it had a big following, and now it's become legitimate. Other people are like, it's just one of those things where broken clocks right twice a day. In this case, they threw something against the wall, it stuck, and they got a cosign, and they're like, right, let's try and make something of it, and be like, and then I suppose like with this, but then with what happened yesterday with the Liverpool signing, that kind of was right too. So they threw something else. I mean, maybe it's pure luck, and they've just happened to, they're playing a game, they're rolling dice, and they've rolled, 2 sixes a couple of times in a row, and everyone's gone, bloody hell, that's pretty unlikely. But it might just be that it's unlikely. So I don't know. But until we're told otherwise, until it's, this is the Baleba thing's not true. And it's in the absence of information, I suppose you got to go with a little bit of hopium, maybe. Just, yeah. I don't know.
Just until it's dead in the water, Owen. Until it's dead in the water, it's there. And actually, at the moment, even if you want to move away, because this is why we have to remember. Okay, everything's focused on Indie right now because they were the ones to break it. Let's just drop them out of it because you're like, I'm not really sure about them. They might have got it right, but come on, one trick pony, one season wonder. Fine, if you think that. Let's just focus on Ornstein. And the last thing Ornstein has said to us is that Man United are trying through intermediaries. A lot of other journalists have backed that up with the interest being there. And even like this, until Ornstein says a deal now off the table for Brighton's Carlos Baleba, as Manchester United not willing to pay X, Y, Z, and Brighton makes stance clear of not selling the player. Until that is said, then we're here. There you go. Even if you don't fancy the indicator thing and it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, stick to your tried and tested tier one, who didn't as per indicator. So it all links. It all links whichever way you look at it. And I'm not sitting here thinking these indicator guys, I know wicked, everything's gonna be perfect. They're saying it, we're gonna get him. I don't know. But the biggest and the best in David Ornstein is on this train. He's on it. Yes, he's used words like unlikely or I think Laurie used the word improbable. These types of words have been floated around, which is why we're like, probably won't. But it hasn't been X'd off the list yet. So
no.
Let's be here.
What is interesting, Flex, is that with this Carlos Baleba stuff, obviously you did the video yesterday from about the Indicalia report that came out and said that after that board meeting, a bid was imminent. And I explained this on the Football Flex last night when I did the watch long for the Super Cup.